Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Darius Lunchauskas. Today is the 28th of June 2018, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday morning session, where we're going to have a look at the markets, what happened with them yesterday, what levels to watch out for today and later on, of course. But before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content of this webinar does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, a very quick reminder of our JFD Brokers web page here, specifically the research page. Where we update it on a daily basis, and we throw out different trading shoutouts, technical analysis, and of course our daily analysis that we produce every morning. So feel free to check us out, and I think you can find something useful for yourself. But for now, let's quickly have a look at the charts. So the first one I want to touch on is the S&P. Of course, you're all aware we had a some sell-off yesterday, and well, we're seeing this index here testing this key area of support that I was talking about in my previous videos, the 2700. Now, yesterday we saw that it closed just slightly a few points below it, but nevertheless, I mean, the 2700 continues to act as a very good strong area of support. It also is not far from its 100 EMA here, shown as the green line. And of course, now, just judging by this picture, we can see that the path holds. I mean, the path holds towards the downside here, potentially testing this 200 EMA, which is approximately around the 2670 mark. So certainly the first level that could be hit would be the 2675, and then slightly below that we do have our 200 EMA, and so this area now becomes a very important area to watch. Let me just quickly highlight that for you guys. So keep an eye on this one right here. I mean, good level to watch. Certainly we can see that the 200 EMA kind of acts as a nice magnet for this index, and certainly we could see another touch on the upside. Well, because we can see that this area right here, the 2742 mark has been a very good area of both support and resistance in the past. So I mean, a nice break above this level, and especially a close above this level, potentially could interest the bulls and drive this one a little bit higher, maybe even towards this upwards moving trend line, and a quick test from underneath that one. So for now, of course, the sentiment is more to the downside, and like I said, keep an eye on this little area right here. Looking at the Dow Jones, and Dow Jones is already below its 200 EMA. Certainly, this is sending us quite a bearish signal. Nevertheless, we need to see how this week is going to close, to be honest, because even though we saw a bit of down move here, and we can see that the index has closed below this 200 EMA, but certainly keep an eye on it, because we could get a surprise where we would retrace back to the upside here and close above this 200. Now, certainly overall, just judging by this current picture, I mean, we can see that, let's get rid of this line, we can see that it's more bearish than bullish, and if we get a nice break here below this little area right here, let me just quickly highlight that for you. This little level right here at around 24,085 mark. So if we get a nice break below this, well, this could send it to test the 23,530 mark. So a good level to watch, but of course a big jump here, but nevertheless very good area to watch. We can see that was marked here by the lows that we had in May. In May this year. So keep a close eye on this one. Certainly at the moment, be very careful with those buying orders. Certainly at the moment, like I said, it is looking more bearish than bullish. So similar stories on the Nasdaq, and the Nasdaq is pushing lower here. The tech sector is getting hit hard here. Certainly you probably understand, due to the US-China tensions here, those the so-called trade wars, and at the moment, of course, we are aiming for lower levels here. First one to watch here is, of course, this 50 EMA. And of course, break below that could send this one towards the next area of support at around 68.50, approximately there. And just slightly below that, we do have the 100 EMA approaching that level as well. So good area, good zone to watch for potential support, but only if we get a nice move here below this 50 EMA. On the upside, if we suddenly reverse back above this area that we've broken yesterday, this 70, well, let's call it 77,000 area. So if we get a break above this, then, well, we could start aiming for this area again. So the 7105 mark, very good level to watch, potential good area of resistance. But like I said, only if we get a reversal here and a close above, let's say, the 7010 mark. So very good area to watch, marked here by the highs that we had on the 14th of May. So keep an eye on this one, guys. Could be something interesting. Now looking at the FTSE now, FTSE, of course, giving a slightly different picture here. Maybe it's just because it's a little bit lagging here, but nevertheless, we saw a nice candle here, a nice bullish candle forming yesterday. We closed the day in a positive zone, and certainly we've closed the day around this 50 EMA here, shown as the red line, slightly above the level that I was talking about here, the 7610. Certainly at the moment, just judging by this picture, it's looking quite bullish, but nevertheless, I mean, stay sharp, because of yesterday's sell-off in the US markets. Well, we could maybe see this one reversing back down again. So for now, stay sharp. If we start taking out yesterday's highs at around 76.30, then, well, keep a close eye on these higher levels, especially on this downwards moving trend line, and we could end up testing that one from underneath. So some good areas to watch here. Certainly, like I said, be careful. On the downside, if we suddenly reverse back down here, drop below the 7610, well, we could start aiming for this level again, the 75.50, and if that doesn't hold, well, we could end up moving even towards this area right here at around 74.90, which also coincides with this lower side of this lower side of the channel that we're seeing here, where that the index is within. So for now, keep on monitoring this one. Looking at the DAX, and the DAX is well, also showing some signs of recovery here. Nevertheless, like I said, stay sharp. Maybe we could actually retrace back down again due to the, like I said, due to the US markets closing yesterday in the red. So it's difficult, to be honest, to evaluate this one. On one side, we would like to see maybe a bit of recovery back to the upside, but at the same time, we know that the equity markets are weak right now, and we could maybe see another slide down here. So if we get a nice move below the 12,300 again, then, well, I mean, we could start aiming for this potential area of support at around 12,150 again. So for now, continue monitoring these levels. We can see that yesterday touched the area here that I had highlighted, well, had marked, the 12,450. Certainly it didn't break that to the upside, but stayed below it. And of course, for now, just keep on monitoring these two key areas. If we, like I said, I'll probably repeat myself a little bit. If we get a move below the 12,300, then we could start aiming for the 12,150 again. But if we make a test of the 12,450, stay sharp, because this could end up moving higher again, maybe even talking about DAX probably. So yeah, guys, keep a close eye on this one. Let's quickly touch on WTI, and, well, Friday, then Monday was a bit of a correction day, and from where we've now, we're testing the, well, almost testing the, we're above it, then, well, we could start aiming for higher levels. Certainly good areas to watch. If we look at this historically a little bit on a bigger picture, we can see that a very good nice area of resistance is around here, the 73.25 mark. Certainly I understand it's not far from where it is right now, but nevertheless could be a good area of resistance, potential resistance. But if that doesn't hold, well, we do have some better levels right here at around this one and around 76.90 mark. So keep a close eye on this one, guys. Certainly good area to watch as well. Quite a bit of a jump here for the commodity to make, but nevertheless, judging by this strong buying activity, I mean, we could see something like that happening. Similar story is in the Brent, and Brent has finally broken this downwards moving trend line here that has been running since around the 22nd of May, and then now we're testing this key area of resistance at around 77.80. A break above that, well, could send this one a little bit higher, maybe even towards this 80.50 level that was the high, approximately the high of the May this year. So good levels to watch. On the downside, well, I mean, this needs to get kind of really back below this downwards moving trend line in order for us to kind of consider some lower levels again. But for now, this is looking more bullish than bearish. Okay, let's quickly touch on a few pairs, and before I finish here today, and the euro, well, euro closed yesterday below this upwards moving trend line that I was talking about, and certainly at the moment this is looking quite bearish, I would say. And let me just quickly adjust this line slightly. There we go. So we've made a nice close here. At the moment, of course, yes, it is looking more bearish than bullish, but nevertheless, we can see that the 115 450 line continues to hold. Let me just readjust this up. There we go. So the 115 450 line continues to hold. Now slightly below that, we do have some other good levels to watch, especially this 115 100 mark. Now, if we do get a break and a close below that level today, then, or maybe tomorrow, then definitely this is could be a bit of a sign of weakness, let's say like that, and we could end up seeing this one dropping towards the 114 500. For us to kind of become bullish on this one, a little bit more, somewhat bullish, I would say, we would need to see a nice reversal back above this upwards moving trend line, where, I mean, there could be some hope for the bulls that this could get driven up higher here again, and of course for a more bullish scenario, we would need to see a nice break here above this downwards moving resistance line. So keep a close eye on this one, stay sharp. Certainly at the moment this is not really looking good for the euro dollar. Let's quickly touch on one of the US dollar pairs where the dollar is the base, and USD JPY. Well, even though at the same time it's being a bit of an annoying one, let's say like that, let's actually get rid of these lines. Still at the same time, it's quite interesting because we are seeing this upwards moving trend line holding the rate here, and certainly you can see that the 200 EMA plays a key role as well, and as the pair continues to trade around it. We saw yesterday a nice push higher, above it, but then the day closed at around here, around the candle, actually the daily candle closed here around this 200 EMA. So today it's a bit of a we already saw a bit of a drop here to the downside, but we can see that the bulls managed to recover it. So certainly at this point we're very careful with this one, even though we would like to see a nice break here above this level here, a nice break and a close, especially above the 110.250. Nevertheless, we're still keeping a close eye on this upwards moving trend line that could be broken to the downside if we suddenly get some sort of strong sell-off here, and if the pair stays below that upwards moving trend line, well, I mean, it could open the path towards these lower levels here. So on the downside here that we are watching are the 109.200 and of course the 109 level itself. So, but on the upside, we do have some good areas of resistance, potential areas of resistance at around 110.850 and the 111.400. Which is marked by the highs of the 21st of May. So, okay guys, I hope you found this useful. Thank you very much for now. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.